What's up? I'm back. This segment, this is going to be a segment which is going to be part of a series where I break down the Avengers, decode them. It's going to be decode them metaphysically. It's going to be a series up until the Avengers the movie. So I'm going to take Avengers individually. I'm going to start this one on Captain America. The last video is going to be ending with Thor and Hulk. Iron Man's going to be in the middle. I consider the Cap, Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor very important Avengers, and they all kind of represent certain points. You could even relate to the chakras. So to begin, Captain America, and I'm gonna take it more from the movie than from him as a comic book, but Cap, was the first Avenger. This is actually interesting that they say that he's the first Avenger, and his shield really is the pentagram, right? And that's very important in a sense, because it goes into human spirituality where when a human being learns about the pentagram and they really learn what it means, they really learn how to use it in terms of using it in their imagination, it actually changes everything. And that's really when the first time the human being discovers that he has power. And he or she has power in the sense that it means they could be in control of situations. They don't have to be the person waiting for the situation to happen. They can basically take it to the situation and basically mold the situation to fit how they want. So when you look at Cap, he's coming from a different time period, from 30s and 40s, right? He's coming from the sense that he doesn't really have powers per se when you compare him to other people. He does in the sense that the super serum made him stronger and faster than the average person, particularly in his time period. But when you look at him in the world of superheroes, he doesn't really have powers really compared to his counterparts. Yet he's the one that's the most popular. He's the one that's the most noticeable. He's the one that even leads the other heroes. In the comics, sometimes Cap will beat people who are much stronger than him, to be honest, right? And there's a reason for that. And in a sense, he's symbolic of the pentagram being his shield, which is unbreakable. The coincidences are too steady to ignore. In reality, he is the pentagram, and the pentagram is the human being. And in the beginning, the human being is scared of the pentagram, right? So the human being, because he's scared of the pentagram, or she's scared of the pentagram, one of the most powerful tools, weapons that they have to assist them in their lives, they don't use. Now, if they're lucky, the pentagram has 5 points, right? Has 5 points, right? If they're lucky, they don't use the pentagram, but at least have access to the cross, right? So the cross comes in and allows them to protect themselves, right? Now, a lot of people were Catholic or Christian, right? They have the cross. They do the sign of the cross. It's not as strong a protection as the pentagram, but it's a start. But then you get people who don't even have the cross, right? Which at least is based on the 4 elements. So then they don't even have that. So then they go around with no protection. And realistically, because sometimes people hear this and say, oh, the physical world's illusion. Protection is all in the mind. Okay. Even if that's the case, your mind still needs to send a steady structure in order to balance itself. That's the whole point of this video. In a sense that when the person has the pentagram, it's not about drawing them, right? It's not about making all kind of freaky rituals with them. It's about understanding what it is. And in the East, sometimes they'll have the body as the pentagram, right? And being able to understand certain points, how certain points in your body connect, being able to imagine that, to fuse that in your imagination. And when you fuse it in imagination, it balances and seals your energy. And when it balances and seals your energy, you can do certain things that the person who doesn't know that can't do. And it's simple, but you'll be surprised how powerful it is, in a sense. And in a way, sometimes, I think that is one of the biggest things when it comes to Cap. I think when you look at Cap, realistically, even when you look at Marvel's relaunching. If you looked at that, you looked at Cap, Iron Man, Thor, right? Be honest, most people were worried about Cap. Like at the movie, because remember at the time, people didn't really know if it was going to make it or not, right? So they kind of said, all 3 of them do good, we get Avengers. People were kind of worried about Cap. Like if you look at it carefully, people were like, Cap, to the average person, is kind of boring, right? Cap is like, people don't really care about him that much. The average person not a comic fan. You got a lot of comic fans. I'm not gonna lie. I was never a big Captain America guy myself. I actually respect the character more on screen. I wouldn't even say I'm a Cap guy on screen. I think I like how they help him out. Like they give him Falcon. They have Black Widow, right? Look. Next movie they're gonna have Iron Man and Black Panther. Like they know they give him a supporting cast, which is what is needed. So I think when you're looking at it from a metaphysical standpoint, you can't stop at the pentagram. The pentagram is the beginning. And in a lot of ways, you can tell how much or how ready you are based on the fact that if you have a lot of fear of the pentagram and what it means, or you're a person who takes this video and the pentagram being the elements, right? And you could invoke any element by hitting the pentagram on a certain level, on a certain side, a certain corner. Some people say, I don't need the elements. What do the elements mean? I'm about my mind. I'm about escaping this world. You're not ready either. You're actually probably ready. You're probably ready. How should I put this? You're ready even. Your evolution has become more backwards than even the person who's scared of the pentagram itself. So I think Cap, in a sense, represents a point in your consciousness where you can kind of tell if you're a fan of spirituality and fiction. If you're just a fan of fiction, you won't even like this video. But if you're a fan of spirituality and fiction, Cap represents a point in the consciousness where the person might be ready for more. So if you notice in our world in fiction, when Cap was a success, they're like, okay, Avengers could probably make it then. Well, they're like, all right, cool. Avengers probably gonna make it. Why? Well, in a sense, it's symbolic. In the sense that so many people are into superhero movies because of what superhero movies represent. Superhero movies represent the next stage in human consciousness. Now, I know a lot of people have made videos about it, and they have videos about the third eye, and 2012 cats thought that everyone was going to get superpowers. 2012 people made everyone look bad. Because they told people they're going to get powers, they're going to just activate. All you had to do just believe, and you come in and the energies hit the earth, will activate you, right? That didn't happen. And in a sense, I'm glad it didn't happen, because realistically, what the superheroes really were people who just did the work. After a long period of time, transformation took place. That's exactly why, when I wrote Crown Lock, that's what Crown Lock's about. Government being scared of superheroes. So I think potential. They weren't superheroes yet. They realized, oh shoot, potentially people can make themselves into that. But they had to work their ass off for that. It's not easy. And that's why. So Cap represented a shift in the human consciousness where it was not cool to be a geek. It was not cool to like comic books. Even now, you still have people fighting. You still got people. I'm realizing the people who are comic book haters, comic book movie haters, who say I'm tired of the superhero fatigue. They're tired of it because the comic books have went mainstream now. In a sense, they're at the forefront, and it was never like that. And in a sense, it's kind of bucking against their time when maybe they were the bullies in high school. Maybe they were just one of the bullies in high school, but they were part of the cool cats in high school, the cool class in high school, and it wasn't cool to like comic books. So people like comic books hide and run and stuff like that, and the other people or not, you don't have to hide, but you just weren't cool, right? And then the other kids were just cooler than you, and now that's slowly shifting, and a lot of times consciousness still needs to be kind of expressed. So it just shifted where the people who hate comic books and are pretending that they don't mind comic book movies, but they just tired of comic book movies. They have comic book fatigue, but then there's so many other genres that people don't say that about, which makes no sense. But Cap represented that. And this is why, in a sense, Marvel has been such an unstoppable force. They've been such an unstoppable force because I don't think they're doing that intentionally. But when you look at how the energies are manifesting, how they lining up, Cap being the pentagram, the first Avenger, in a way, when you look at it, outside Iron Man, Cap's movies are the most popular Avenger movies outside them as a collective team. And when you look at it, it's because it represents a point in the consciousness where if the person looks at the pentagram, which are the 5 elements, doesn't get scared and says, you know what, I know I'm ready to use this to implement my spiritual routine to go to another level, right? Then what happens? Well, then good things happen. Magic happens over 5. Look, put this. Magic happens over 5, 10, 15, 20, 21 years. By the 22nd year, you probably will be seeing some miracles, aka what people call superheroes. So Cap, first Avenger, that's what he means. He's kind of a shift in the consciousness of people, of certain people, of all people really, right? It's a marker. So that's what I should say. It's a marker, which it's going to be like, you can see if you're ready. If you go through the shield and go through the shield, you're ready to start training. If you look at the pentagram and you even get scared, you may need another lifetime. If you look at it and say, I'm on my philosophical, just my mind power, I don't need the elements, right? The world's illusion, you're not ready either, right? And people want something deep, but that's all it's about at the end of the day. And that's why I'm going to decode each Avenger. And I'm going to show you what each of them mean. I'm not going to lie. Hawkeye and Black Widow, they're going to be one video. I'm not going to give them their own videos. They're going to be one video. They're important, but they're going to be one video. Right? I might do them next week. So, till next time. Peace.